Ankur, welcome to the Leanpub launch video for machine learning in Python for process and equipment condition monitoring and predictive maintenance. I was wondering if you could take a moment just to talk a little bit about yourself and who you are, and about your book and what it's about and who it's for.
Sure. Thanks, Len. Thank you for inviting me. So I am Ankur. I'm from India. Did my undergraduate studies there and then pursued a PhD from University of Texas, Austin. I defended my thesis in 2016 and then joined the Center of Excellence group in Praxair, their headquarters in New York. After the merger, it's now known as Linde. So here in Linde, I work as a lead operations technology developer, where we develop digital solutions to make our plant operations smarter. And by digital solutions, I mean automation solutions for process control, optimization, machine learning solutions for process monitoring, predictive maintenance, process troubleshooting, and those kind of work. And in the last few years, I would say I have developed a keen interest in creating educational material catering to us process data scientists. And this current book, so right now I have written 3 books, and this third book, which is the latest one on machine learning for process monitoring, equipment condition monitoring, predictive maintenance, is basically falls under this series of books, which are primarily get towards machine learning for process industry. And this third book takes a deep dive into how do you actually apply machine learning into a very important application area for plant health management, which basically includes figuring out whether everything is going fine with your production plant. And by production plant, for those who are not aware, I basically mean you can think of it oil and gas plants, oil refineries, steel production plants, any kind of chemical plants. Right? These are huge production plants with thousands of measurements, sensors. So it's really tough. It's not an easy task for plant operators or plant management to know that everything is going fine. So how do you, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, right? How do you know everything is fine? So this book basically takes a deep dive into this important application area, tries to provide a bird's eye view of the mainstream techniques that are commonly employed, and provides a hands-on approach to its readers on how to step by step, how to develop solutions to achieve, to solve these process monitoring challenges.
Yeah, it's a really fascinating book. I mean, a very fascinating series of books. And for those listening, as you were explaining, when we're saying plants, we're talking about, factories, basically. And when you've been driving on the highway and you see a giant oil refinery plant in the distance, or any other kind of huge, industrial factory, there's all kinds of sensors all over the place. So what you might be thinking about is the guys, sort of walking around with the hard hats, kind of like doing the dangerous work with the machines and stuff like that. But there's people sitting behind it, collecting data from all over the place about all these different processes and systems. And it's about efficient. It's like very important to get those plants as efficient as they can be and stuff like that. But there's also like things that are in the news these days, like about, for example, LNG plants in the States and stuff like that, and all kinds of regulations coming in about like how much emissions are coming out of this plant. And it's really important work for the sort of core efficiency of the business, as it were. And you just want to make things better all the time. But having these very complicated, very hard work to actually gather all that data and learn how to make those plants more efficient and environmentally sustainable and all that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what your work is about.
Exactly. And it's only in the last few years that this interest in it has been almost a decade when this machine learning or deep learning has become the household word. Everybody knows about it, but it's only in the last few years that this has really taken off in the process industry. Now, if you talk to any process industry executive, most of them would be are already bought into this deep learning and machine learning buzzword. They're like, this is what is going to provide me the next competitive edge.
Yeah, it's really amazing. I mean, it just as a layperson, but I follow the sort of tech news and stuff like that. But even when it comes to like deep learning and like even things like artificial intelligence, and that term is obviously used to mean a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. But there was a very famous story a few years ago about how Google set an AI kind of system loose on one of its data processing plants, and it just increased the efficiency by some percentage, like 5% or 15%.
I have read it. I have read that. And it was about how they increase the efficiency of the data center.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing time that we're living in, where like you brought, I think you brought it up, sort of very good reason that, like, the executives are convinced, and when that's happened, you know it's mature.
It trickles down to the lowest level. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Ankur, for being on this video with us today, and thank you very much for using Leanpub as one of the platforms for publishing your books. We really appreciate it.
Oh, sure. Thank you for putting together this amazing platform. Really good. Yeah, helpful.
Thanks.
Thank you.